Okay, here is Fairbanks. Here is Anchorage. The road that comes down between these is called the Parks Highway because it goes right beside Denali National Park. Last episode we came at you from the Talkeetna campground inside of Denali National Park, and the episode before that we were at the Riley campground inside of Denali National Park. But this episode we're talking about our travels southward, and as we left the park, this is the Denali Highway, and 3 miles in from Cantwell it is paved. 21 miles in on the Paxton side it's paved. The rest of this is not paved. We went over about 8 miles, stayed there for a couple of nights. We're going to talk about that. Then we came down and you come back up to, there's a town called Talkeetna. And we show you our explorations there. And then as you come down and get near Anchorage, there is a town of Wasilla. And we're going to talk to you about what we've done there. Before next episode, we will be coming at you from the Kenai Peninsula. Okay, we came out, I believe it's Highway 8, which is the Old Denali Highway. And you may be able to see Denali just back over here. And we are on this gorgeous little lake, which when we got here yesterday, I came out and within like 15 minutes had caught 3 Arctic grayling. I'll be honest, we tried them last night, I kept 2. We tried them. I'm used to a really firm fish, and the Arctic grayling is not, so I'll be fly fishing today because I don't do that very well. And it'll give me some practice, and if I catch one, that'll be great. But man, they are fun to catch. They hit hard, but I digress. The point being, we are just here for a couple of nights to kind of rest after being on the go virtually the whole time we were in Denali. And this is one of those places where, man, I mean, there's Denali. Here are just mountains 360 pretty much. And don't get seasick here. And we had 2 other folks in here with us, actually 3. One guy left. He was parked just right up there. And this is Alaska. And so this is just a pull-off. This is just one of the places that we're staying while we're on the road. Not going to put GPS coordinates on here because as you head, we were at Cantwell, leaving Denali at Cantwell, coming across, and just came across Denali Highway. We're not going the whole way. This is 8 miles in, and the first, I think, 3 were paved, and then we hit some gravel, and we're going to turn around, head back out that way. Whoops. Good morning, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers. We are on the Denali Highway looking at
Denali.
And we have just finished a couple of nights dispersed camping out here on the highway before we head down to Talkeetna. And the big things we accomplished, Marlena cleaned the RV really well. I got a video edited, but I also got to go out in my kayak a couple of times and caught 3 Arctic grayling in about 15 minutes. And that was loads of fun. And then the next day I just went out and paddled around and practiced fly fishing.
And there's something I want to mention about her being on that particular lake. We've been blessed with 2 wonderfully clear days. To have Denali in her background or in her foreground while she's in the kayak.
There she is.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing it.
Sorry, I got y'all. We're trying to do this while we're on the road, but there she is. Yeah, you just can't.
It's massiveness.
People say you'll know when you see it. Well, there it is. But anyway, folks, this is just amazing. And hey, we'll catch up with y'all in about 3 hours. Okay, we often bring you just the stunning views from our free campsites because, man, we've had some just within the last few weeks, 2 different ones where we were on stocked ponds and saw bald eagles and Denali at each of those. But then there are times that functionality is the name of the game. And that's where we are here. This is a great spot. We're thankful it's here. We're thankful it's free. But it is essentially, as you can see, a gravel pit. And the reason we're staying here is because of its proximity to Talkeetna. We're just a few miles away. And so we're able to stay here for free and go and explore this area. Okay, we are here at
Talkeetna
Birch Works and
Talkeetna, Alaska, the world's largest birch syrup facility. Can you believe it?
And this is amazing how different these taste. Okay, so you're saying day 1 the trees are frozen, solid.
Well, our harvest starts when the ground thaws.
Okay.
And we mentioned earlier that maple has sucrose sugars.
Yes.
That's the sweeter of the sugars. It's like the table sugar we have in our home that we cook with.
Sure.
Birch has fructose. Those are the sugars in fruits. But on day 1, when the ground thaws and the trees start drinking, the sap starts moving up the trees, we get a little, the trees get excited. There's an explosion of sucrose, and it fades really quickly. So on day 1, we have a very special syrup. We call it our reserve. And it's the one we have the least amount of.
Yeah,
It's not the one you just tried, but I'll give you a sneak peek of it.
Okay.
If you don't tell the world.
This is day 1. It has a burst. Wow.
Butterscotch.
Wow. That is really, it's, none of these the birch overpowers, but it's present.
Yep.
But that is really sweet. That is good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that extra sweet
Yeah.
sugar in the very beginning. It fades really quickly into the early run that you
Yeah.
tried first. It's got kind of that honey
Yeah.
apricot flavor. The mid run that has berries, prunes, plum flavors, and our late run this year had kind of cherry, chocolate tones to it.
Okay, now, questions that I'm sure everyone's going to want to know once they see all of these things, and I'm going to show you all of the products here in a minute. Do you ship?
We do ship.
And you have a website?
We do have a website.
Okay, we're going to put a picture of a card or something that shows the website and stuff on there so y'all can order these things. The brittle, we grew up with peanut brittle and pecan brittle in Texas. It's brittle, but it's birch. It's really good.
It's breakup brittle. Because in Alaska, when spring comes around, the snow breaks up and the mud comes out, we call it our breakup. So we named our brittle Breakup Brittle.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, and then we have caramel. This is an extract brittle. The syrups, all different kinds of syrups. And then these are local blueberry.
All wild harvest.
All wild harvest. Okay.
So we have lingonberries, salmonberries, blueberries.
Okay, and then we also have, those do not have birch, but you said that the mustard, the sauce, and the cranberry, they all have some birch in them as well.
We use the late run for that.
Late run for that. Okay. Okay, I went with the birch brittle, and once again, they've done a great job of getting the birch flavor, but not overpowering. And the brittle gives a little bit of crunch in there as well. I doubt they ship this, but if you're here, this is a good option. Stop it. Okay, so what are your impressions of a Sunday afternoon in Talkeetna?
I'm so disappointed the mayor is not in town.
Yeah, I took a picture of the t-shirts that talk about the mayor. It's a cat.
And it's having some problems, and the
Vet appointment.
vet does house calls, but he hasn't been out to see about the mayor yet.
You would think that would be a high priority,
Yes.
but folks, put on your walking shoes if you're coming.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of variety. There's a pizza place, just bakery, coffee shop, breweries.
There's a home style.
Then there are all kinds of shops with, like, some with antler carvings, some with just regular, t-shirts and stuff. A lot of overlap in them. But, folks, this is a happening place in the middle of July on a Sunday afternoon, which you would expect. It's a gorgeous day. And so pack your patience if you're coming.
And I wanted to tell you, don't expect bargain basement prices.
No, do not. But we're just taking a load off for a minute, and then we're going to try and head back toward the car. This is July 21st. We've been on the road since June 10th. We're still speaking. One other thing about Talkeetna is this seems to be a hub for a lot of tours. There are ATV tours. There are, if you're going to take a flight to the top of Denali, many of those leave from here. River rafting, fishing guides. Yeah, I went into a bait shop over there. But we're just looking around at various signs for ways that you can go and see Alaska.
And spend your money.
Many of them, I guess, seem to leave from here. So that little highway coming out here is pretty busy, but man, some views of Denali that are just
incredible.
Wow. Okay, folks, on your way into Talkeetna, just before you get there, on the right-hand side is this playground, and it is super awesome. And if you're traveling with kids of any age, I would say this is almost a must stop. And there's one person here back there swinging, but other than that, it's empty. I would have gone down that slide, but it was very, very dark, and so I went down a different way, but loads of fun. We are at the Iditarod Trail Race facility here at Wasilla, Alaska.
And one of the coolest things we've done on this trip was take a sled ride for $10. It was not a long ride, but it was so cool.
It was. Riley is our musher.
And Free up in the front left, he's 15 months. And Bodacious XM turns 12 months on the 29th of this month.
And so
those three puppies haven't, but everyone else in this group has run and finished it.
Okay, if you don't mind being on video.
No, you're fine.
What is your name?
Riley Dyke.
Riley. And this is going to be your fourth Iditarod?
Fifth
Iditarod.
Yeah.
All right, and you have a total of how many dogs?
38.
38.
8 of those are pet dogs, retarees that live on the couch, and then I have 30 active running dogs in the kennel. And I bring 18 of those guys here every day to give rides and exercise, kind of get a summer weight training workout in and help pay for the winter dog food bill.
Okay, and Riley, how'd you get started with this?
I started running dogs in Leadville, Colorado in 2010. I went to college there, and I took a college job at a winter tourism operation. Got hooked on it, and then moved here in April of 2012 to get into the more serious side of mushing. And I've been here ever since in Alaska and building up a kennel, and eventually running Yukon Quest in 2018, and then Iditarod in the years after.
It was so much fun, and the little pools they have out there for the dogs to cool their feet when they finish running, because it's in the 60s now and not snow. But it is such a neat place here. There's a lot of history.
Yes.
And then just some cool stuff. You can buy, for $2, you can buy something that has been actually, the mail system, which is kind of how this all started, was carried, and the musher has signed it, and just kind of it's neat. And so, and his actual, you can go in and see his actual sled that he races in.
And like the dogs at Denali, their sled dogs, these were eager to run. They enjoy it.
these dogs are, they're bred to race, and that's what they do. And so this is a super neat little stop. And Wasilla is just north of Anchorage, not very far north of Anchorage, south of Denali National Park by quite a little ways. But
And for those of you who are a little older, you may remember she was John McCain's running mate, and also had been the governor of Alaska.
and that would be
Sarah Palin. Sorry.
She,
It
not
was
me.
in my head.
Not me. But anyway, from this area. But this is just a super cool thing, and these dogs love to run, and we're giving them their summer workout. So, if you're in the area, you want to stop by and take a ride.
Yes, you do.
And as always, thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.